evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Salem by Night Chronicle. I am the Reverend Sarkhan. My name is Will, and I will be your storyteller this evening. And last we left off with our Camarilla group, we were down one fantastic toreador, so we got to see our Tremere and our Nosferatu out and about by themselves, unfettered and unsupervised, which clearly has become a big mistake. But we opened up with our dynamic duo standing in front of the imp, and they discovered that it could speak broken English, but it spoke fluently in Latin, thanks to our Tremere's learned background. They also learned that it was looking for something that it couldn't put into words. They followed him out the door into the room proper. They learned that it doesn't have a name, and that it was summoned by a man that he described to them as just another generic male. They tried to follow the demon outside the room, but he quickly vanished. Very different than a Nosferatu's pulling on obfuscation or a Ravnos for that matter. Uh, but they saw that the imp could create an illusion, and it did so of the motel kind of going up in flame, forcing them to make a terror frenzy check, or as we like to call it, a Rorschach roll. Once the imp got out and took off, and saw that it didn't do anything to the two of them, even though it did send Ivory looking for some cover, as it is not her first brush with death. But as it ran towards the river, Kathy fell into the Nosferatu compulsion, where she had to learn everything about this little imp, and she ended up pouncing on him, hurting it in the process. Carl did catch its eye, though, and used compulsion to make it stop wriggling. They learned that it was just hell-bent on trying to find whatever it was looking for. That's when they noticed a young girl coming out of the office, and as they tried to move into the car, the young girl kind of called out to them. Carl tried to put the young girl to sleep and then felt a kind of beast fight the command within her, but because she is still not a vampire, she did end up falling asleep. They learned that she is a reporter named Veronica LeBlanc. Noticed that the wallet she had was a man's bifold wallet that looked less manufactured and more intricately made. They He discovered that she is a supernatural by tasting some of her blood, probably kin to Lupin's because of how his beast recoiled at the taste. And then he did kind of go perusing through his memories to try and figure out if he's ever had this kind of situation before, if he's read about it. Um, he remembered that certain supernatural creatures will have a resonance to their blood. Like Fae will have a melancholic resonance, even though they themselves are kind of attached to myth and mirth. Um, and as they dragged her into the room, he could hear her kind of fighting the compulsion to sleep. But he did take some of her blood to study later. And the second they drove away from the motel, though, they noticed that the imp began to fray at the edges and just collapse like he had been killed outright. And as they returned to Marcus at the Albatross bar, they were taken to the special basement office where they dropped the imp onto his desk, and they saw him take a couple of pictures of it with a Polaroid. And they asked him for an extra one for them. They gave Marcus the vial of dried blood that they had collected from the grass over by the river, where the other demon might have been fought. They warned him about the reporter they found and how she might be connected to Lupines, and they exchanged informations about the illusions and how he had heard that some Ravnos are capable of something like that, and that he does know of one in the city that sits in the company of Grant Reynolds, the Baron of West Salem. But getting back to the bargain at hand, Marcus shared what he knew about the Xiaolong group and how Liman Baozhu has been around since the Anarch Revolt in the 40s, so she should be dealt with carefully. They also learned that Hyde doesn't consider them a threat. They learned that the bar they're looking to buy uh, puts them within striking distance of several small domains in the city, and that they also learned that the Primogen really have are the only ones that really have a larger domains, and that the sheriff was recently given a new domain. Uh, they learned that the Hangman's Knot is owned by a Kine, and that he has been courted by Frederick Mason, but that if Anastasia Richards had set her sights on the bar, that she could easily take it from him. But they also learned that Reynolds is not the kind of kindred to play the same trick twice. And so whatever he's done in the past is in the past. He is a man of change. They also learned that some of the Quajian can be daywalkers, depending on the energy that they've sustained themselves on, but that they become lethargic, whereas taking the other form of energy makes them more violent and short tempered. But they also learned that Richards is the kind of Ventrue that only meets with non Ancilla, that if they have something that she needs or wants, she is kind of an elitist. And that the only thing that she's recently been looking for is a Ventrue, a wayward Ventrue that lost their sire and has been left to fend for herself, and that she has made it known that she would like to bring her in as part of her fold. They were also told that the sheriff might not need to know about the lupine girl in particular, since the only people that know about her are the three of them in the room. And Marcus brought up trying to use her against Reynolds if she really is indeed connected to the lupines. Um, they also learned that the Ventrue girl wasn't at the last Elysium, but she was a resident of the Ivory Tower apartments complex up until recently. And they were warned that the Quajian could be destroyed with fire or beheading, but that staking would be difficult because some of them, in the course of shape changing, can shift around their organs. And after talking it over for a bit, they took off for the Ivory Tower Estates. They walked into the front desk to see a large gentleman of a security man, tried to create a distraction so that Kathy could sneak in, and ended up in a firefight with Carl learning that he is not built for combat and that ghouls are fragile still, even though they are empowered by the blood. Kathy pulled an obfuscate to hide herself and snuck into the apartment building and made her way up to the actual apartments above the 12th floor. And then we switched over so that we saw that Carl was trying to make his way up the elevator, which had a special key. And we left off with the two of them looking for their respective goals, whereas Kathy is currently looking for anything to bring the attention to the Ventrue girl, while Carl is looking for the actual security room so that he can destroy the evidence of the firefight that took place. And we are not going to open with Carl or uh, Kathy. We're going to open with Ivory, actually. It's good to see all of you again.
Hi.
Um, so we see Ivory kind of back away, look for a safe place where the fire cannot threaten her. And after a moment, the fire just vanishes and the motel is left unscathed in front of you. Clearly a trick of the mind. Uh, you see their interaction. You can see Kathy just pounce on this creature. You hear it yelp in pain. You see them interacting with the young girl and then dragging her into the apartment, and then immediately driving away. How does how does Ivory react to all of the situation that she has witnessed?
A little disconcerted that her people left her behind, but okay. um, She is going to find some sort of phone and call her driver, since we established she has a car phone.
Yeah.
So
You have your options. You can go into the same kind of room where they dragged the young girl into, or you can go into the office. But either way, you're gonna have access to a phone.
Probably the office.
Okay.
Breaking into a room right now, probably not the best idea.
Oh, I don't think they closed the door. I think they just left her in there with the door
Yes,
open.
I don't want to go near her. With him gone, the dominate may be gone. I don't want to be associated with them
Smart.
right now.
That's smart. They are not the kind of people you want to be in the same room with. So I understand that completely. And the guy at the office just easily just turns his phone around.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh yeah, of course. And you can tell that he is just, the second you walked in, he went from being bored and just kind of looking at a comic book in the graveyard shift to just being really smitten with the part of your face that he can't see.
And she will flirt outrageously.
Yeah. Anything he can do to help you, he goes above and beyond.
All right. And she will call her driver and tell him where she is and to step on it.
Yeah. And within less than 5 minutes, you see the car pull up.
All right. Thank you so much for all of your help.
Yeah, of course. If you ever need anything else and you're in the area, he hands you a business card.
Oh, thank you. That could be useful. Puts that away.
Yep.
And she will go out to her car.
Okay. And the driver kind of comes out, opens the door for you. Where to, ma'am?
The albatross, please.
Of course. And as you're pulling away, you can see the young girl kind of groggily stepping out of the room and looking around. And
okay.
After a moment, she steps back into the room. But
okay.
You pull away. You get to the albatross, and you see that Marcus is just coming up out of the back. And he sees you, and he kind of laughs, and he comes over. Oh, you missed your friends. They were just here.
Ah.
I thought your group got separated.
We did, but we were supposed to meet back here, so...
Oh, they just took off.
Oh, any idea where they went?
Well, I told them about Anastasia and how she's looking for a young Ventrue girl. So I think they might have gone in that direction. But I also told them about the whole situation with the Orpheus Theater, and you see him starting to lower his voice and kind of pull in closer.
Okay.
But he does give you the kind of skinny as to what he told them.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, so I gave them two options, and then they kind of talked about it for a little bit. I think the young lady with the mask was leaning towards going towards the Ivory Estates. So that's that might be a good place to find them.
Oh, okay. On a half name with okay.
I don't think they would have gone to the Orpheus without you. I think I also think that they're the kind that go looking for trouble if you leave them alone. So the biggest place of trouble would be the Ivory Tower. So
of course. Well, thank you, and I hope we have settled this deal then.
Yeah, your group and I are square. And he kind of slaps the bar twice, and they slide him a shot. And he kind of holds it up. Salute. And takes it.
Thank you much. And she will head back out.
Okay.
Yes, we're going to the Ivory Tower, she tells her.
And the driver just kind of like nods. It's like, all right, ma'am. Sure enough.
Go slowly up to it. Just see what's going on.
Sure, of course. And as you drive up, you are maybe a block away when you hear two different gunshots. And he stops, and he hears the gunshots, And then he just kind of puts his hand around and turns around. Ma'am, should we continue?
About a block away?
You're a block away.
Okay, is that city block?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's muffled.
Can she hear sirens?
After the next set of gunshots, you do hear sirens.
Next shot. Oh, jeez. Okay. Why don't you stay here?
You sure, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. He finds a place
So
to park the car.
she will get out.
Yep.
And start walking quickly. Possibly using some celerity a little bit.
Okay. Just a little bit of a rush.
Just to get a little bit faster.
You see, as you're moving towards the lobby of this apartment building, there's another set of gunshots that go off. And then you see every floor above 12, and this building's modest. It's about 20 stories, maybe 22 stories. Every floor above 12 just goes completely dark.
Okay. Huh.
But as you come up to the large double doors that lead into the lobby, you can see a man splayed out. He is holding his side. He is bleeding. The whole lower half of his stomach and pants is just red and drenched with blood. And down the hall towards the elevators, you can see what looks to be the back of Carl. Carl's head as he goes around the corner.
Carl! You haven't heard that out of Ivory before?
Nope. Yeah. Stop on my heel and turn around, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, and you can see that Ivory is just standing there at the doorway.
Giving you a one-eyed look.
Yes. We're in a bit of a rush. You might want to come this way.
What the...
I'll explain on the way. We need to go.
There's cops coming?
I know. That's why we're in a rush. Otherwise, we languidly stroll.
Who is that?
Some ghoul.
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 At the front desk of the place where the Ventrue Primogen lives.
Yeah.
And you're letting him bleed out.
Well, he shot me.
Why?
Because he escalated shit super fast. I was just trying to get inside.
Where is Kathy?
Yeah. Up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We need to find some security shit and destroy that right now.
Yeah. Okay. You do that. I'm going to go see if the ghoul is still alive and see if we can do anything about that. Because we really shouldn't.
You hear a ding and the elevator doors open.
Oh, shit.
You just see a single gentleman just in a business shirt. The sleeves are rolled up. The tie is slightly undone. The top button is undone. As he steps out, you see him kind of crack his knuckles, and there are esoteric symbols that have been tattooed onto his flesh, up his arms. And he just steps out, and he just kind of surveys the situation. He sees Carl, he sees Ivory, and he's just like, okay. So there's 3 of you in total, apparently. Is this an attack?
No, it is absolutely... Shut up, Carl.
Okay.
Sense the unseen? Is he something?
He has a pale aura. So he's definitely kindred.
Okay. She will go up to him very unthreatening. Mm-hmm. She will approach him. I am Very sorry, sir. This has been a big misunderstanding. I was just coming to check on your friend.
No, that's not my friend, but I would not let him die.
Yeah, I was just going to take care of that.
Sure. And what were you about to do, sir? And he turns his attention to Carl.
Well, I was looking for the security stuff just to see, make sure there was no evidence, but I think that plan has changed.
I'll make a note to look at the security stuff and scrub anything that needs to be scrubbed then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she approaches the ghoul. Is he dead?
No.
Or no? Okay.
He is severely hurt, and only because he is a ghoul is he still alive.
Right. So vampire blood will do that, right? Will heal him, right? Yeah. So she will.
Hey.
And lose a health. She should make Carl do, or lose a
yeah, you gain
blood point.
gain a hunger.
Gain a hunger.
And he is.
She's only going to give him one.
Yeah, and he is apprehensive, but he knows the position that he's in. And he's just like, he looks up at you. Thanks, and he drinks. And you see some of the wounds start to close as he uses that blood that he's taken from you. And the gentleman comes over. He's like, Louis, you okay? And he looks up and he's like, I'll live, Mr. Coulson. Thank you.
Mr. Coulson, I'm Ivory Larson. I'm very sorry about this situation.
It's okay.
What can we do to make it right?
As am I.
Let's go talk to Anastasia then. I think she will be the one to
of course,
want reparations for what's happened to here.
Sounds like the cops are on the way. Is there anything we should do to fix that?
I'll handle that. And he goes into the elevator, and you see that he does have like a credit card that he kind of wipes in a slot that is not immediately visible until you see him slice the credit card through, and one of the elevators opens automatically, and he holds the door open. He's like, don't touch anything. The elevator will take you straight up to the penthouse. I will handle the cops, and hopefully the security team that is trying to find whoever set off my wards will not kill them.
Understood.
Hopefully. She's very new.
That might be a shining grace to this situation. But he snaps his arm away, and the doors close, and you go up.
As the doors close, Ivory says, we were supposed to keep her out of trouble.
Yeah, that didn't work.
On the 13th floor, as you guys are going up the elevator, Kathy has infiltrated into the building. There are apartments spread out. These are large apartments. And as you make it about 20 feet down the hall, you see the whole floor go pitch dark, except for little pinpricks of light every 6 feet in the ceiling. And they're like tiny little, just, I would say like a tenth of a Christmas light, like just a little ember of light. It's barely enough to see anything except the little like inch radius of tile around it. Do you have eyes of the beast so that you can see in the dark? Or do you have anything to help you see in the dark? Because otherwise you are plunged into darkness.
I do not think so.
Okay.
No.
Is Kathy afraid of the dark?
No, she wouldn't be.
No. Okay. So everything goes dark instantaneously, and you have these little lights, little pinpricks of almost like stars, just that go down, and they, like I said, every 6 feet they are just there. um, what do you want to do?
So what she will do, or what I'll do is, the minute that happens, I'll go, oh shit, shit, oh shit. She closes her eyes and takes a really deep breath, and then listens as carefully as she can. She's trying to use heightened senses or whatever she can, just to, she
Okay.
stops. In the darkest corner that she can, she's gonna try and pull the shadows and obfuscate. Um, I know I need to make a rouse check.
I mean,
And then
you're still obfuscated.
I thought that because when it gets light, I was treating it like stealth. I'm sorry.
No, no.
Um, so she's going to take very slow and quiet steps,
Mm.
and she'll use her hand to keep on the leftmost wall.
Okay.
Just kind of follow the wall lightly. She was not like making a lot of noise. She's just slowly using that as like a guide to go down the hallway, and trying to feel for the elevator doors or anything that has a turn. And if it turns, she follows that turn with her hand. But she's going very slowly, and she's staying as close to the wall as she can.
Okay. You are making your way as slowly as possible, as safely as possible, as quietly as possible down this dark hallway. And having heightened senses turned on, you hear the sound of very methodical steps. Booted. Takes you a moment. You know that there's more than one. If you want to make a wits and awareness roll, you can try to discern how many there are.
What's an awareness?
Yeah. So your wits
And
is 3,
3.
your awareness is 2, so that's 5 dice.
But one of those is a hunger check, right?
Yeah. So for regular 100 dice.
I'm going to use the blue for the hunger dice.
Okay.
And if she has heightened senses, isn't that enough? Are these lights enough to see for her to see?
She doesn't have heightened senses.
Oh, I thought she said she did. Sorry. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm using like I closed my eyes so I can heighten the rest
Oh,
of
you're
them.
like, I got you. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. I got a 4 in my hunger dice, and I got a 7. I got a 0. I got a 5. I got a 6.
Okay. You stretch out. You stop immediately when you hear the footsteps. You know there's at least 3. There could be 5. It almost feels like a full SWAT team. You don't hear them communicating, but you do hear the kind of swatches of their clothes moving very aggressively.
Are they
But
moving towards me? Like they
yeah,
can see me?
no, they're moving towards you, but you don't know if they can see you.
Okay, are they coming from in front or in the back?
They're coming from where you're moving towards. You don't know if that's front or back.
Okay. And the question.
Hmm.
You know how like in apartment buildings you have like that little bit of width in between the doors, like that door jam area?
Yeah.
I'm going to press myself against one of the doors quietly and silently like this. Try to wait for them to pass.
Okay.
As darkest corner that I can find. I'm going to prepare myself so that if they do end up touching me, I'm going to bite the shit out of their arm.
Okay. Excuse me.
Guys, I don't know it's a SWAT team. I just know that there's something here.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Go for it.
That's fine. And there's a moment where you hear all of the footsteps kind of moving right on top of you. Like you can hear one, then a second, then a third, and they suddenly stop about what you would imagine is a good arm's distance away from you. And then you hear one of them into the radio. 12th floor. No sign. Moving.
Holding my breath, by the way. Like, legitimately, as the character, I'm holding my breath. I'm not making a sound or noise. I'm just holding my breath and being as silent, and I'm waiting for them to pass.
Yeah. And you
Yeah,
hear
you don't
them.
have to breathe, so that helps.
Yeah, that helps. You hear them shuffling. And then that's when you hear the thunk of whatever they're using. And you feel the sharp pain of this projectile coming into contact with you.
Oh, lovely. I
So let's see how much damage is done to you.
have to roll, or just you?
No, just me.
Okay.
They streamlined attacks in this system. Okay, so I got 5 successes to shoot you with my crossbow. And with their damage modifier, that brings you up to 8. So you take 4. You take half. Since you are a
Okay.
vampire. Superficial damage.
So I put that under health?
Yeah. So,
Oh, that hurt.
yeah. And
Okay.
it thunks into you almost. If it had been an inch and a half to 2 inches to your left, they would have staked you. It is almost dead on where your heart should be. It almost looks like they were trying to stake you. Still, you don't see a muzzle flash because there isn't one. You don't really know where they are. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna assume that when it hit me, it shot out blood, right? Because it sprays. So,
I mean, not really. You're a vampire, so all of your blood is kind of necessary to
regulated.
keep you your magical body animated. So there's a slight kind of
For smell
outwards.
purposes.
Yeah.
They could
There's
smell.
no Akira Kurosawa kind of samurai splash. No, but there is just kind of like bloop. Like if you dropped an ice cube into a glass of water, like that's the kind of like little splash that comes out of your body.
They can see me. That's the bad news.
Yeah. That's the bad news.
Yeah.
I'm gonna book it. I would book it. I'm gonna book it. I'm gonna
Okay.
book it. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
My character would book it.
Yeah. You turn. Do you want to book it in the direction that you were originally crawling, which is with your left hand
Oh, because they
forward?
can see me, and I don't think zigzagging is going. Actually,
They're not alligators, so no, zigzagging would not.
that's what I'm saying. Zigzagging is not going to work.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't grow up in Florida, zigzagging is how you outrun an alligator.
Or a
They can
tree.
only run in straight lines.
I'm going to run up to the door across from me, and I'm going to try and open it to see if I can go in. If that doesn't work, then I'm going to kind of like bounce off back and forth to find the nearest door that I can go in.
Okay. So you immediately just
I'm not gonna
off.
like get that door, that door, that door, that. I'm gonna be like that door, then that door, then that door, and I'm gonna try to be as like I'm a circle and because so they can't really like get a hold on me with a crossbow. I'm gonna keep
Right.
doing that until I either pass
Right.
out
Yeah.
or they catch me.
So
And then as I'm doing this, I'm yelling, "Not a threat! Not a threat! Not a threat! Not a threat!"
okay. As you yell, "Not a threat! Not a threat! Not a threat!" The next word you hear is, "Then drop down, and stop moving."
Don't shoot me! I'm not gonna drop if you're gonna shoot me. Promise me you won't shoot me. Tries to open the door, runs away.
All right. So you get shot again. This time you are running. So
I'm running and I'm like circling and turning and like dodge.
Yeah, I love that in the darkness you don't know what you're doing, so it just could be you running in a circle.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I'm thinking too. Like I'm just going around trying to like different doors. I'm running
so
forward and backwards. They're just seeing this wild, crazy ass lunatic.
yeah, they because of your erratic movement, I did give them a difficulty penalty. So still, you're gonna take 5 damage divided by 2 means that you take 3 superficial.
Dead.
No, you're not dead. You
Superficial.
just fall unconscious.
Okay. Well, I'm officially as they're like, I'm not.
Yeah. Uh, so we switch back to Ivory and Carl as the doors open, and you see a penthouse just extend out from you. The elevator comes up straight into the apartment on a very beautiful chaise lounge that is straight out of one of Ivory's old movie sets. You see this beautiful blonde woman, regal looking face, kind of kite shield of a face, beautiful bluish, kind of soft, dark blue eyes, and this blouse and belt and pants ensemble. There's no shoes, but she does have stockings. And sitting next to her in a kind of love seat is this thin, wiry, kind of scrawny looking black gentleman. The hair is pulled back into a soft loop, a kind of bind, but then it just explodes out into this puff of black with some streaks of gray. There's a very thin, well kept beard. There's a business suit. The sleeves are rolled up, very similar to Mr. Coulson downstairs. But there is no tie. There is a vest that matches the pants, and there are very simple dress shoes that look to be worn. And as the doors open, you see the young woman stand up. Excuse me, and she steps forward. Oh, I see that we have something to discuss.
Yeah,
Miss
turned Ivory.
Richards. I am very sorry for all the misunderstandings that have happened.
There are a few. Is the intruder in my 13th floor with you?
Yes, she is very new. Was Anastasia there when we were given this task earlier this evening?
I believe so.
Okay.
Double check.
I thought so. She's the new one that was introduced just this evening.
Tulips girl.
Yes. She got a little above herself.
And she looks at the gentleman that's with her. Mr. King, I apologize for this intrusion. I hope this will not sour our relationship moving forward. And he slowly shakes his head, and he looks at the two of you. No, I think they look interesting enough. Can't wait to see this other girl. And he just kind of leans into the seat that he's in. She comes over though, and she's like, please, I have some chairs. Feel free to bring them over.
Okay. Go ahead
I
and grab
think
some.
Ivory's going to look at Carl.
No, I go. I pick up the chairs. I go. Absolutely. I mean, I'm not strong. Not that I'm like with ease or anything, but I'll do it.
And as you bring your chairs over, the second elevators pop open, and you see this what looks to be a security detail of just armored men, body armor. You can see that they're holding crossbows. They have night vision goggles on their foreheads.
Oh, you.
And you see them dragging Kathy. She has one crossbow bolt through her front and one crossbow bolt in her back. They just kind of plop her down.
Good
The
job,
one,
guys. You took real good care of me.
the one in the charge just kind of goes, "Ma'am, we brought her up. All she had was this," and you see them holding the mask out. You can leave that next to the body. Thank you for your service. They nod and they step back into the elevator, and both doors close. She sits back down in the lounge. So, if this wasn't an incursion or infiltration of any sorts, then what was it? What am I to believe this was?
I see mommy. Close the door.
Strangely enough, I believe my colleagues were trying to help you.
Of course. Help me. How?
Carl?
So the thought process was basically we were going to try to help you find your lost foundling, Lydia or Linda. Sorry, brain deading.
Lydia Frost.
Lydia Frost. Yeah.
Okay.
And we thought to go and check her apartment. We didn't quite expect the resistance that we met. Should have realized that there should have been, and apologize for the trespass. But we were originally there for good intention, because we wanted to try to meet with you, but by also helping you as well.
Instead of asking my doorman to inquire as to whether or not I would see you, you felt it in your best interest to just barge in to a Primogen's haven.
Didn't realize it was your haven. So, like I said, a bunch of misunderstandings. Apologies. Thought it was just a normal apartment building that you owned. Didn't realize it was your haven.
So that you are aware moving forward, the first 12 floors are businesses. The upper 10 floors are all apartments specially made for kindred, Sal. Several
Understood.
of the population have requested aid and sanctuary here before, and I have opened my doors to guests from other cities, like the Archon that's currently in our city.
Gotcha.
So I now have to explain why my building went dark, but not a conversation for you to have.
Yes, and I am truly sorry, and we will be much more careful moving forward, I promise. But what can we do to make up for this? Because obviously we came here actually seeking your favor, and this was not at all how it was supposed to go. So obviously we not only owe you a favor, came seeking a favor, we now owe you, I feel, squarely in that ground as well.
I hope that my gift of blood to your ghoul helps to assuage some of it.
I mean, you kept him from dying, so I appreciate that. Louis has been faithful for several decades. You're looking for Lydia. Why?
Well, the idea was mostly we were looking for help against the Kuei-jin, which I understood you could be a part of the fight against them.
Ah.
And so we were trying to help you find your lost one to gain favor to see if you would help us. Again, sorry.
I
for
see
your win.
now where the wires got crossed, as it were. So you're aware, Lydia is the daughter of Albert Frost, who was a La Sombra, who was a member of our population until about 2 months ago when the Inquisition attacked us at the country club. And we lost Geraldine. She was turned without his knowledge, and she is what we believe to be a Ventrue child. I don't know who her sire is. I would like to help her because Albert Frost helped me, and so I feel like I owe it to him posthumously. I am a Ventrue of good renown, honorable reputation. I know that some of my clansmen, and you see her emphasize the word men, and she smirks at her own kind of jab. They're more inclined to flaunt their money, and you see the black gentleman sitting there clear his throat, and she immediately looks down. Present company excluded, of course, Mr. King. He smiles. We have lost Lydia as of late. She used to live here, and when her roommates, for lack of a better word, left the city, she also decided to leave the apartment. So I've lost face contact with her. If you can find her, we can consider the matter of tonight wiped away. We can start over with a fresh slate. As of
course.
Sounds good to me.
Looking for any evidence as to where she might have gone, you are free to look about the apartment that she was staying in. Other kindred that the sheriff has sent have looked into it, including Tulip, your little associate's sire. So,
we should speak to Tulip then.
So that would be a good place to start. If anything, you can always go back to the sheriff as well. He would be able to tell you who else he might have put on this, and who might still be looking, and who has been shifted over to defensive duties, given what Mr. Reynolds has suddenly been up to as of late.
Thank you for the information and for access to Lydia's apartment. I really do appreciate it and am deeply thankful for your understanding.
Of course. And she grabs the phone from behind the little table. She dials a number, and then she just hangs it up. Don't worry about your associate's wounds. I'm sure that given time, she will heal herself back into consciousness.
I agree.
No.
So
one of the elevator doors opens. There's no ding. And you see a gentleman, thin, tall, almost like a basketball player, maybe about 6'6", but just lithe body. Same black jacket, white shirt, black tie, black pants. And he kind of nods. Yes, ma'am. And she goes, if you could escort the three of them down to what was Albert and Connie's room, they're going to be looking it over to see if they can find where Lydia might have gone. And he's like, yeah, of Of course. Whatever you want, boss. And she's like, thank you. And Sam, be careful with the young one. She got herself hurt. And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. And he grabs the mask in one hand, grabs the back of the collar, and then just drags her into the elevator.
Works for me. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Richards.
Also, I hope the next time we meet, you have good news for me.
I hope so as well.
Can I start?
Yes.
Myself?
Yeah. In the elevator, Sam will pull the stakes out, and he'll look at the two of you. You want to keep these as a souvenir?
I'll hold them on to her for just in case she has any interest. Appreciate it though.
But
So
few
I'm gonna
floors
roll.
down. Yeah, it's just a rouse check to heal. Level of damage.
Rolled a 6.
Okay. So your hunger does not go up. You gain health, so you're back at 1, and you start to come to.
Yeah, I'm gonna start healing my damage as well, because ow.
Okay.
So
How many of
rouse,
those
right?
can I do?
You can rouse 2 more times by the time it gets to the floor that you need to be at. Just
Okay.
remember that every time that you fail a rouse check, your hunger goes up.
A fail's under a 6, right?
It's under 6.
Ah, I got 2 2s. Awesome.
No,
Okay?
you. Yeah.
You only, yeah. Oh, unless you roll twice, yeah. Of
Yeah.
course.
Do I still heal though?
Yeah. So your hunger
That
is
was
now
worth
at
it.
3.
2 tens so far.
Would you have done the second one if the first one had caused your hunger to go up?
So yes, because I was at 1 health. That's a kick in the gut.
Yep. So as you start to
Right.
reflexively heal, and you start to come to the pains shooting through your body, the beast in your mind is unhappy with what's happened. It is lashing out in every memory that you have. It is pulling at every thread that it can, and it starts to show you images of a crib. It shows you images of the wedding ring, the wedding dress, and then it starts to show you those same images, but with the mask in place of the child in the crib. The mask is on top of the bride little doll at the top of the wedding cake. It is the mask that is kind of being revealed as the veil is pulled up, and it is just spitting into every memory you have as you come to in this elevator. But you can see that
Sidebar.
Ivory
The guy
and
that's in with us, he's human or is he kindred as well? The one that's leading us.
you don't know, but he is wearing the same thing that Louis was wearing, so you can assume he's human and a ghoul.
Here's your question. Sidebar.
Don't.
Just hear me out for a second.
Don't.
Just sidebar.
I like that. Sidebar?
Wait, sidebar.
No.
Sidebar.
No sidebar. No sidebar.
No, I have
Go.
a question. That's why.
Yeah,
Hunger's
no.
at
I just like that Susan's like, no sidebar. There's no sidebar.
Hunger's
not
at
that.
3. I
Just-
only have 2 left. Hunger's at 3. I only have 2 left. We can say that like starting to like notice that these people taste and smell delicious. I'm assuming, correct?
Blood
The need
is
to
the
feed
sustenance.
is overwhelming.
Yeah, blood
Not
is the
yet.
life.
Not yet. 3 is when you start to really want it. But 3, you're still, I would say, in some kind of faculty where you can be like, this guy might belong to somebody more powerful than me.
Got it. Okay.
If you were at 4, then I'd be like, you know what?
Good point, right?
You could
That's what I
roll
was
a
wondering,
dice.
too.
You could roll a dice on it.
I was gonna roll a dice on it because I was like, I am very overwhelmed right now, so I
Yeah.
would probably take a taste.
But
Try to persuade him.
what did Carl get for his healing?
2 10s. So you
2
said
tens.
roll twice. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you luckily don't have any beast interaction as of right now.
Let it be
Uh,
on note that if anyone tries to start a confrontation with me that is a male, I'm probably gonna bite them. Just finding that out.
okay. But yeah, your eyes flutter. They open. They adjust to the light of the elevator. You can see that Ivory and Carl are standing over you. You see them unfettered though. Like you're used to seeing them through like the eye sockets of the mask that sits in front of you. Now there's none of that. You can see them and they see you. But your mask is in your hand. If you want to put that on.
I immediately put it on,
Nope.
and I look and I like shoot. And no offense to Ivory, but I shoot Ivory a glare, and I go, "You didn't see that." And I got up and I like brush off the dirt. I go, "So what the fuck happened?"
Well, I don't know, but I pulled these out of you. Or I'm sorry,
Ooh, souvenirs.
Mister. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Sam.
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 Mr. Sam pulled them out of you, and
As I
to
take
help
them, I'm like,
facilitate the process.
take them, and I'm like, "Thank you, sandwich." I mean, Sam.
Yeah. You're gonna be okay. And the doors open, and he comes out, and he's like, "The apartment's this way. It's at the end of the hall. They got one of the new ones, so they must have done something real good for Miss Richards, because these are for special people."
Kind
He
of
goes,
special people.
I mean, they're usually kept for guests that come in from out of town, and for the Archon that's here, she has a corner apartment too. So
Nice.
um,
Is it on this side?
no. And he goes over, he opens the door, and you see this beautiful apartment that is almost the size of a house as far as how it's laid out. Like the front of there's a little hallway, there's a closet, open closet that just looks like it has a shoe rack, little rack for like coats and things. It opens up, the hallway opens up. Immediately to the left, there is this beautiful kind of dining set, and there is a little wall that separates the dining room from the kitchen proper. The kitchen itself sits so that there is between the uh, cook, the kind of food preparation area, and the actual stove sink combination. There's just this open window that looks out into the city. There's beautiful cabinetry. There's another little wall that separates that, and then it just kind of goes around like a fence. Um, and it has this kind of countertop. There's a couple of stools. And the rest of the apartment is just an open living room space. There's this beautiful kind of wide U-shaped couch that sits in a sunken area. There's this long kind of football shaped coffee table. Around the corner there, the wall, there's a bit of art that doesn't look like anything really. Just very abstract kind of brush strokes and spatters. Uh, but around the corner is where the rooms exist, and there are 3 rooms and a bathroom at the end of the hallway. One room looks like very simple. There's just the bedding, there is a bookshelf and a desk, and a chair. The next room looks more lived in. There's a bed. There's a corner of gathered newspaper. and there's a bit of a smell as if an animal had lived here. This room is the only other room besides the kitchen, the dining room, and the bathroom that doesn't have a rug in it. All the other rooms have rugs. And there does look to be a kind of dog bed off to the side. And the third room is very plain. Like there's only the bed, the bedding. It sits in the center of the room, and there is nothing else. But none of the rooms have windows, and none of the windows in the living area have any angle of light that can ever hit any of these rooms.
Interesting.
Sam, did you
Yeah.
know Lydia?
Not really. I met her once or twice, but she kept to herself. She was always around Connie and Melvin and Mustang. I think I saw her once with Mr. King. But I think they were just being introduced. I think she was here with Albert right before he died. But Albert, I don't think ever got to see the apartments. Maybe. I think he saw the first apartment that they lived in, which was like a floor down and off to the side. This apartment, I don't think he ever got to see.
So who lived here?
Connie, Melvin, and Mustang lived here for a little bit, and then Lydia moved in. And for a little bit, I don't know if you want to count it, but there was a head in the jar that lived with them.
A who?
Head in the jar?
A head in a jar?
Yeah, like a head in a jar.
No kidding.
Okay.
Was it alive?
Yeah. They called it some Tremere bullshit.
Oh well, that's fair. we have bullshit.
Oh, you a
Do you
Tremere?
happen to know
Yeah.
which room was hers?
No, I never came inside the apartment. I'm not allowed to go inside the apartments.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sam.
Sure.
Is
I'll
it
be
okay
down.
if we just look around?
Yeah, I'll be down at the elevator when you're ready to go.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. He starts to just kind of walk away whistling.
Okay. When he gets out
Sorry.
of the room and the door closes,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Hey, bye, Sam. Yeah, but the door closes. Who the fuck let you in charge?
Yeah. Dude,
When it
all I was
happened-
trying to do was trying to get past the security guard. I didn't.
First of all, why did you leave
Escalate.
me?
We thought you hauled ass away.
I
Like
saw
because
you
of the
haul ass
fire.
away.
I was just around the corner. I was coming back when you guys left.
We thought you
Talking
bullshit.
shit.
You
Shifting
didn't
around
even
things.
look.
Did not look.
Wow.
I did look. That's not true. I did look. I looked behind me as we got in the car. Weren't there.
Sorry.
Well, then you
I
didn't
really
look very
thought
well because I was there.
I totally thought you had just bounced. And you were like fire, nope, and gone. Because I been there, so.
He's gonna
you
take this
generally-
opportunity. She's going through the apartment. She's checking to see if there's any clothes, opening drawers. Like she's really trying to see if there's any anything that might be out of place. Any notes, memoirs, anything. She's going through books, things like that.
Okay.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna sit there and think for a second because now that shit's calmed down, the guy who came down the elevator when we first started, Mr. Coulson.
Yeah.
He said he had esoteric symbols on his arm,
Correct.
and he had wards.
Correct.
Is he a Tremere as well? Is he known to be a Tremere?
John Coulson is a Tremere that you have heard of. He broke ties with all of the houses. He is not an anarch, but he is not considered someone to be trusted. It is said that he was in league with Andrew Givens at one point, and that together they have converted some of the older hermetic abilities into rituals.
Okay.
And he is known for the tattoos that he has acquired after his embrace, and that are all specifically tied to different abilities and some of his blood sorcery.
Okay.
Like
And
it is said that he, and it's never been documented by a Tremere, at least not one that has survived the encounter, but it is said that he can boil someone's blood without touching them.
Interesting. At range. Okay.
It is also believed that he had something to do with one of the gargoyles that was found earlier in the year, but no one has any proof of that.
Okay.
And the only one that could have attributed it to John Coulson was Andrew Gibbons, and he was killed.
Okay. How was Andrew died? Andrew killed?
Andrew was killed by some of the men the sheriff sent after him. And it was believed that he was in cahoots with demons.
Gotcha. So he was an infernalist, or believed
Believed to be. Mm-hmm. So,
awesome.
Yep.
Always fun. Was he just an infernalist, or well, I don't even know how I would know the other term. Never mind.
Yeah.
Just strike that question.
I know what you're saying. You don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So, and Connie and Melvin and Mustang. Melvin has come up before, I think, right?
He was part of the bar that we went to.
Right. That's right.
And
Melvin is Teddy's best friend.
Yes.
Yes, Teddy's best friend.
And his sire recently died.
Right. And they're the ones who screwed off to Portland or whatever?
They are the ones that screwed off to Portland.
Yeah. Okay. They would know Lydia. Of course. That's the second time we could use their information and they're gone.
Useless scumbags.
Yeah, useless anarchs.
Useless anarchs.
Do we actually know they're anarchs? I don't remember.
No.
Okay.
Useless.
No.
All of them.
As far as the Camarilla knows, Melvin is still a stand-up guy. Okay. He's still one of the people that the sheriff calls on.
Perhaps not Erickson, but yeah.
Definitely not Erickson.
Yeah, we'll discuss this later. And she starts using her heightened senses and aspects to look around, see if she can see anything of interest.
Yeah.
It's going to be a wits and investigation roll.
Oh.
If you want to start looking around.
Plus my aspects, right?
Plus your aspects, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have investigation and I don't have much wits. So.
Yeah, I have wits, but no investigation. So I'll take that as well. I'll activate heightened senses and all that.
Yep. Yeah, so activate heightened senses is free.
Intelligence investigation, right?
No, wits investigation.
Just one success.
Okay, one success for Ivory.
Wait. 1, 2, 3.
2 for Carl.
4, 5.
You would
6.
Our resident troublemaker gets.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One of them's the hunger roll.
3 of these dice are hunger dice.
Yeah, now you're at 3.
So it's going to be 3 regular dice.
I know, I'm using my pink ones. Give me a sec.
Yeah. And 3 hunger dice. So 3 regular, 3 hunger.
3. Okay,
6
so I have
dice.
3 regular, 3 hunger.
Yep.
So my reds are my regular, 3 are my hunger. And what happens if I fail my hunger?
Well, don't.
Okay.
Well, it's only if you get a 1 and don't get any successes.
Don't get any successes, yeah.
Okay. So on my pink die, which were my hunger die, I
Yeah.
have a 4, an 8, and a 9.
Okay.
And then on my red die, which is my normal die, I have a 9, a 7, and a 4.
Okay. So 4 successes. Nothing bad happens. The more hunger you have, the less dice you can re-roll using willpower. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, so Ivory and Carl start to look around. There's nothing out of the ordinary. There's what looks to be a couple of sets of paperwork in the desk drawers that you two find. That is what looks to be a dissertation, pages of a dissertation, somebody's thesis statement for a doctorate program. It is a living document that is trying to prove one, the existence of Atlantis and where it might be.
Interesting. Does it sound like crackpot shit, or did you actually have some?
No, there are strong theories.
Okay.
There's between the two of you, you find what looks to be the paper, the original paper that was written some time ago because of the parlance that's used in it. Looks like maybe 1930s, 1940s documentation style. But there's notes that have been written on the margins, and lines have been crossed out or whited out and replaced entirely with handwritten annotations that look much newer. And it almost looks like there's been an attempt to try to connect Atlantis to Carthage and Carthage to Enoch, and whether Atlantis could have been just Enoch shifted. Uh, but it is Kathy that finds that there is a makeshift bit of invisible ink that has started to become visible again. There is what looks to be a blank journal that is in was hidden underneath the simple mattress, back inside the actual mattress itself, and it is almost a questioning of their existence. It is very similar to the questions that have been kind of running through your mind when you were first turned, like, why is this a curse? Why is this my curse? Did I deserve this? Did I ask for this? The kind of questions uh, that a survivor is kind of forced to ask themselves, especially in this time period. And the thing that catches you off guard is the description of their power always refers to the nuisance that their third eye has become.
Okay, so I think I would have the knowledge for it. Can I use my intelligence to kind of read around and see if I can deduce what that would mean? Kind of like when you use context clues to find the meaning of a word in a sentence.
Given how new you are, I don't think you would be knowledgeable about the context that this is referring to. But you do have 2 older vampires in your vicinity that might.
First, as I hold it up. Oh, by the way, are the words clear now, or it doesn't seem like there's gaps where I can put like maybe some heat to it and make it come out stronger?
No, it's weak. Heat would definitely make it pop a little bit more.
So the first thing I do is I hold up the journal and I go, "Hey guys, not completely useless."
What did you find?
Yeah. And you walk into the simple room and you see that the bed's been turned over. There's a very thin sliver of a cut on the bottom of the mattress that looks like this was pulled out of. She's
Okay.
holding a small journal. Maybe
Good find.
about, yeah, like 60 pages total.
I said, "But I need heat. I need like tiny heat, not fire heat."
A light bulb? An old in the 80s they are heat.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I could like put
Light
it
bulbs
over
now
there.
are no, yeah, exactly. Yeah, light
So
bulbs
thing,
in the
I
80s
was
are
like,
even hotter.
yes, that would actually be perfect.
Mhm.
I hand it to her and I go, "It's something talking about your third eye being a nuisance. Might be a third nipple. I'm not 100% sure here."
Ding
Hmm.
ding. Does that set
Yeah.
off any bells
Yeah.
in your brain? Will?
Yeah, the two of you are old enough to have known about the salubri, so that could be what's being discussed.
Interesting. And this was in Lydia's room, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything in the journal that marks it as hers, or does she not reference herself?
It does not reference herself.
Okay, just checking.
Everything is all the lamentation is me, but there's never like I
This is the
am.
journal of Lydia.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Salubre?
But the handwriting, is it cursive?
Or what? We lost you.
Yeah, we lost.
I don't know why I did that.
Okay.
The writing, is it like cursive? Is it strong stroked?
It is not cursive, but it is academic.
Okay, so it matches exactly. So it's dainty and it matches what they have.
Yeah. It does not match the handwritten notes in the dissertation, but it is similar in that they're both academically inclined.
I take the journal and I was like, and I see it and I'm trying to compare it basically to like maybe the T's or the W's to see if they're the same.
They're similar but not the same.
I don't think Lydia wrote this.
Well, who do you think wrote it?
I think somebody else did and she was hiding it, but I don't think you wrote it because if you look at here and I point to the W and you look here and you see that, by the
Yeah, again, we're losing you.
because it's on my lap. And I point to him, I say, if you look here at this W and here, it's not the same. So, and I can use my academics roll for this. Useful. But I don't think the same person wrote this, the diary. Because the lettering and the shape of it's not the same.
Okay.
Can I roll for that?
No, you've deduced it on your own.
Okay.
So do we know if either of the other ones that were staying here were Salubre?
Oh, they would not be
It's
advertising
Salubre.
that.
Probably not.
So,
Character. What is Salubre?
yeah, basically there was a clan a long time ago that is no longer really around, though they do exist in small numbers, named Salubre, and they were known for their powers could generate a third eye, where their power came from.
Oh.
There's a lot more backstory to that, but later.
No, I get shot because of your side notes, right? And not the full details.
Hey man, I was shot too. I didn't start it. You at least got arrows. I got blasted.
You seem fine. When I woke up, you were alive.
Yeah, well, it
She says
comes
that
from
she
a
was
little
on the
more
diary.
experience.
I find the nearest light bulb, I turn it on, and I put the pages gently against the top to see if anything else pops up.
There is a final sentence that kind of pops up as you hold it to the heat, and it reads, "I hope Isaiah is right about everything."
As it's I read it so that, we're all sharing. And I say, oh, look, circle time comes back. Isaiah, why does that name sound familiar?
Have we heard that? I don't.
I don't think so. I don't think there's an Isaiah that we
Yeah.
know about.
Yeah, Isaiah has not been a name that I've mentioned.
Okay, so mentions the
This-
third
You
eye.
know who
and
would
Isaiah.
know? Last time we didn't keep her updated. We should definitely, make different choices this time around.
Yes, in general, but yeah, okay. Who do you want to inform?
Anastasia might know who Isaiah is.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go to her quite yet. I'd rather
I would.
find a little bit
I
more
would rather
information.
go to Tulip right now.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, that's right. Tulip would know better. Mind you, this is completely in character. Forgot about her.
Use all of your close contacts that you can. And she's about as close as they get for you.
You could say she's almost too close. But here's the thing. I don't want to leave here with this. If we do, we might get caught with it. And she pats
We were
herself to the
given
whole
free
door.
reign to do this investigation, and it was not found before, evidently.
Yeah.
So
wanna
I
piss her
don't
off
think it
more?
would be a problem. I
Look
appreciate
around.
you thinking
Is
of
there
it, though.
any cameras here, by the way?
In the apartment,
Still-
no. Everyone that has an apartment here has full discrepancy to their own privacy.
Okay.
Like outside, yeah, in the hallways there's cameras.
Alright. She takes it. She takes her. I'm like, all right, fine. But listen, if I get shot again, she pulls down her pants and shoves it inside. I'm telling you, I get shot again. It's your ass I'm biting. Right? And as fine as it is, lady, I'm telling you right now, it ain't gonna taste too good either. She walks right out of the apartment.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh, she's a handful.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But so are we all. We all were
Well,
there. And obviously still are somewhat. Always a lot to learn.
that is true.
Never enough time.
Shall we?
Yes, let's. Well, first I want to try sense the unseen before we leave to see if there's potentially a lingering aura of violence or despair or something or a ghost or anything. Just see what I see in the other realms, as it were.
Sure.
All right. Let's see. We'll activate. Sense the unseen is wits and aspects.
Well, that's only to see obfuscated.
Yeah.
It's up to Will if you have to
there's no
actually
obfuscated.
roll anything.
Oh, there's yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a free roll.
Free roll. Okay, got it.
Yeah, you take a moment, you shift your eyes, and as you open them again, there is a lingering melancholy that permeates the apartment itself. And for a brief moment, almost like an apparition that you kind of see out of the corner of your eye, you see this image, this outline of a gentleman kind of looking down the hallway towards the apartment, towards the actual rooms. But as soon as you kind of see it and you turn your eye, it's gone.
Okay. And no, so there's maybe something here, but not sure. Definitely. Yeah, I'll say it. Yeah, like there's definitely an aura of melancholy, sorrow here. And there was not sure quite who or if it was even there, to be quite honest, but it might have been a gentleman kind of staring longingly at the bedrooms. I'm not it was super fast. So
Can Ivory try also?
Yeah.
See if she sees anything more?
see what
she
you see.
gets-
Her auspex
yeah.
is slightly higher. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she gets the same thing, the kind of the melancholy. It's permeating out of all the rooms, kind of stretching out. And there is a kind of vortex of it in the simple room. It feels like everyone, like all of the sadness in the apartment is kind of centered around this simple room. But she doesn't see the image of the man.
Okay.
But there is a masculine sense of loss.
Like it was emanating from a man?
Yeah.
So probably Melvin, since all the rest of them, I believe, were female?
Right. And Melvin, you said lost his sire, right? Recently?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's emanating from here. So this might have been Melvin's room.
Gotta talk to that Melvin. Keeps coming up.
Hmm.
It's almost like, he's supposed to be useful, but decided to book it.
Yeah.
To Portland. Anyway.
Everything's better
Here's
in
a bus, we
Portland.
just threw him under it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to look at?
No, I think that's it. Yeah, because that more. Don't think there's anything I can do here. And there was no signs. Yeah, I mean, I think we already covered this, but there's no signs of violence or anything. She just left, essentially.
Yep.
Right? It doesn't look like this place was attacked.
Correct. The only other thing that seems out of place that you guys find, given that in total you guys rolled 7 successes, there's a ring of discolored wood around the desk in the first room. That looks to be about this wide, like about maybe 1'4", maybe 15, 16 inches in diameter.
Okay, what color is you say discolored wood? Like,
Yeah.
What kind of color?
Like something with a lot of moisture had lightened the wood in this ring pattern.
Right. Give it a sniff with heightened senses. Is it blood or is it something else?
No, it is a mixture of saline and formaldehyde and other.
The head.
Ah, that's right. They were talking about a talking head. But you were saying, well, and just other?
Other medicinal liquids.
Okay. There's a talking head. Okay. No, world never ceases to amaze. Well, is a head in a jar? He didn't say if it was a talking one. No, we don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, head in a jar.
And another piece of information for 7 successes is there is a note in a completely different handwriting that looks very kind of curvy, very feminine. There's a note on back of one of the dissertation papers that says, someone has stolen Samuel Hunter's journals.
Interesting.
Hmm. So many pieces. None of them go together.
Yeah. Ivory will remember that Samuel Hunter was the Malkavian Primogen during Geraldine's princedom.
Okay.
Samuel Hunter, you said, right?
Yep, Samuel Hunter.
Okay. And the dissertation, did it have like a by, like by Lydia, by, who was the author? Do we know?
No, the paperwork refers to a Dr. Frost,
Okay.
but
Don't know if it's Albert or Lydia.
correct.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. Got Salubre, freaking Malkavian Primogen.
Former Malkavian Primogen.
Former Malkavian Primogen, and Lysombra all running around with Atlantis in the mix, apparently, now. Okay. Interesting. Lots to think on.
Cover up, cover up. Sounds like one big cover up.
All right.
Will we die? Yes, we will. But it's a cover up, so no one will know. Let's go find the cover up. She's literally singing this as she's walking through the hallway.
Yeah. And
How far do I get?
I mean, you can only get up to the elevator unless you want to try to walk around. So the floor, there's only really like 12 or 14 apartments on the floor.
He said the Archon was here.
Yeah, but not on the floor. You don't know what an Archon is.
I have no idea, but the fact that it's a special apartment tells me that it has high class.
Yeah. You sure do.
I'm
Let's not
I'm way too depth of reasoning. Press the elevator button.
Well, Sam is there, right? He said
Yeah.
he'd meet us at the elevator.
Yeah, Sam
I
is.
come up and I go, "Hey Sam, ready to go."
All right,
Well.
wait for the rest of the crew then.
Yeah. All right. I don't think there's anything else that I can do.
Okay.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
All right.
And once everybody's gathered, Sam's like, "All right, time to go," and he slides his little credit card through the slot next to the elevator. The door opens without a ding, and he goes downstairs. Once there, you see that there is a new front desk man outside. You can see that John Coulson is talking to the police. Otis King stands up from one of the couches in the lobby as you three kind of come out of the elevator, excuse me. And he comes over. The three of you I haven't seen before. Are you a coterie? Are you in the city? Are you passing through?
We're a coterie from the city. We were just actually formed this evening, so we're a little new to each other.
All right.
Mr.
Okay.
King.
And she says, I go, "Hurrah."
He pulls out a business card from his vest pocket and holds it out to whoever wants to take it from him.
Take it.
Ivory will take it.
Okay. Yeah.
I go to take it. Ivory takes it. I'm like, never mind.
And he kind of looks at the three of you. All right. I could always use some help in the city. I tend to be left out of the loop out in West Salem, but if you're ever out in my area, just know that you have a safe place at the Red Eye.
Appreciate it.
Is that important?
Thank you.
No.
Hmm?
Is that in Portland on the west side? No, right?
No.
Or is that north? No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he's saying
Other side of
it's
the river.
West Salem, right?
Yeah,
He's in
other
West
side of the
Salem.
river.
Salem.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Sorry, I was writing it down.
John Coulson comes in. Like, anytime that you're ready to go, boss. And Otis kind of nods one more time at the three of you. All right. Let's get some jams before we leave, John. I want to hear some good music. And John's like, of course you do.
Mr. King, if you're interested in music, I'm opening a new nightclub soon. I'll be sure and send you an invitation.
He stops and he's like, "You gonna be playing jazz?"
We can. I have a special setup upstairs. We can bring in any kind of music we'd like.
Upstairs.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course she would.
I might have to find more excuses to come out to the city then.
Kathy walks away. Ass kisser. Says it just as she passes Ivory. She goes, ass kisser, and walks away.
But you see them walk into the bathroom.
All right.
Right, where do the three of you want to go?
Do you know how to get into contact with Tulip?
Oh, I'm useful now? Sorry, I thought you were going to have a nice conversation about your new nightclub.
You have a lot to learn about how this world works.
Oh no, honey. I know how this world works. She literally puts the phone up.
What phone?
Like, Sasha. I do not know how this world works. I thought the 1980s had those really old flip phones. I don't know why.
No.
I had a moment.
No, they would have the brick phones at best.
Yeah, there is a phone down the block.
Ah, that's right.
You have a quarter?
Oh, I do have a quarter. I turned
It was still a quarter in the 80s. I remember that.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
that all the way up to 35 cents until later, which
turned to
basically
crawl,
was
and I go, I do have a quarter.
Yeah.
Because you have a quarter. Can I borrow it?
I have a phone.
Of course
right.
you
She does have a
do.
And she will walk
can.
out and lead them back to where her driver is waiting.
Okay. Still parked at the same spot.
Son of a bitch. She's walking. Has fucking everything. Doesn't fucking share the information beforehand. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And he gets out of the car. He opens the back door. Might be a little snug, ma'am.
We, at this moment, just need to use the phone.
Oh,
So.
very well. And he opens the passenger side door.
And
she will gesture to Kathy.
She grabs the phone and says, I don't even know how to describe it. You know how like when somebody's like, thanks. She puts the phone up.
Yeah, it's a big brick of a phone.
Yep. And I attempt to call Tulip at the contacts that I would know her by.
Yeah. And she picks up. Hello.
Hi, it's Kathy.
Oh, hi.
Hi. I look at her. What do you want me to tell her?
Ask if we can meet.
I got somebody here who wants to meet with you.
Okay. Let's how mobile are you? You at a payphone? Can you meet up?
Yes. Can meet up. I have a set of vehicles that I can choose from.
Okay. We can go to the Last Chance Diner.
She like motions for somebody to give her something.
That's the
Last Chance
sheriff's
Diner.
new domain. We can go there. We'll be safe there.
Last Chance Domain. I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Last Chance Domain. It's what? Who's
Last Chance Diner.
Okay,
it's
Diner.
The sheriff's new domain.
Sheriff's new domain.
Yeah, we'll be safe there.
Be safe there. We have to go here. And I like hold up the piece of paper. As like okay. I'm trying to like keep it away from the cameras to the front too, because I'm aware of cameras. I'm paranoid. And
you're
like,
a block away. You're out of the camera range.
She's so overly paranoid. It's ridiculous.
Just like hiding paper.
Yeah, like exactly. That's what I'm trying to do, but I don't have a piece of paper. Oh, yeah. Here we go. I got one. This is basically what she's doing.
Yeah. How do you know there's not a camera?
And I'm like, okay, we'll be there in about. Minutes.
How far away is it?
Maybe 15 minutes at the most. At this time of night, easily 10 minutes away.
Yeah, but I give myself an extra 10 minutes because, I might get shot again. So. And I say that as I hang up.
Okay.
Babysitters, you're doing a great job. And I get in the car. Are we taking this one? I like this one. She puts her feet up on the seats. Fluffy.
We can.
Yeah, it works for me.
So did she get into the front seat?
Yes.
Is that this? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so she just stayed in the front seat.
I stayed in the front seat, and as they get in the back, I roll up the window.
Oh, there's not. It's not
I
that
roll
kind of
down.
car.
Huh?
It's not that kind of car.
Oh, I thought it was a limo.
No,
Mm-mm.
Never mind.
not that. It's not that kind of rich.
It's
It
fancy.
could be, but it's not something you
Yeah.
use every day.
It's fancy, but it's not. There's no partition.
God damn it.
But yeah, you get to the Last Chance Diner. It is a very rustic looking diner, very much like what you would expect when you hear the word Cracker Barrel. It is almost in the shape of a turned over barrel itself, like it has that roundness to it. It isn't painted like a barrel, but it does kind of have the grooves, the kind of work to look like what's it called, the lumber, the timber that's used in the barrel.
Okay.
It's still very much under construction, but it does have a crew that's there. You do see that the sheriff is kind of walking around, pointing at things, supervising. He's there with Tulip, and as you pull up, you see both of them kind of wave at you. And I think this is a good point to call it for tonight, so that we don't get.
I was saying, the minute that Kathy gets up, her whole persona changes. Instead of being that snarky, she's more like,
Oh, of
yes,
course.
ma'am, no, ma'am.
Of course. The second the adult is in the room, you're like, oh no, I am.
She walks
I am
up and she's like,
behaving.
exactly. That's exactly what's going on. The minute she sees it, she's like, she turns to Ivory. She's like,
But
so,
I'm
and like,
so
like they
nice.
weren't even talking, right? But the minute she sees it, she's like, oh, Ivory, that's such a funny thing you say. I'm so glad we're getting along.
Yep.
Sounds like what my son does.
Exactly.
Oh, little bit of a mischief. But as always, I'd like to thank you guys for being a part of this. I'd like to thank the audience for joining us. As always, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We are approaching flu season, so please get yourselves some vaccines. There's also monkeypox running rampant, and polio is making a comeback for some reason. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But this is the world we live in. So please take care of yourselves, take care of each other. If one of the things here on the channel that we take very seriously is mental health. So just be aware that it is okay not be okay. And if you need help, if you're watching live, there are phone numbers going up in our Twitch chat. They'll be in the description box if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not in the United States, there is a link going up as well. That'll be in the description box as well. So please understand that if you need help, there are resources out there for you. It is imperative that we do not keep mental health kind of stuck behind a stigma or a taboo subject label. It's part of our general health, and as such, it should be hand in hand. So just be aware that it is okay to not be okay, and that there are resources to help you. Out of an abundance of caution and safety, we will not be streaming tomorrow because Hurricane Ian is breathing down our necks. Most of us in my game are Florida natives, and so we are dealing with the ramifications of hurricane season. Yay!
It's not even a category 2. Are you getting out of bed for that? I mean, come on.
I mean, I was telling people, I unless it's a category 3, don't bother me with information. Once it hits 3, then it's just like, where is it? Where is it? I need to know.
Yeah, at least because then we can at least have a hurricane party. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Of course, hurricane
always
are the best.
Always.
You guys are nuts living in that place. Anyway.
Yeah. My favorite meme to this day is just, I forget what hurricane hit us, and somebody put a picture of like a fallen over like backyard chair, and they're like, we will rebuild.
We will rebuild.
Never forget.
Listen,
Yeah.
at least with hurricanes, you get advanced warning. We know what's coming. We've built most of the houses, at least now, are built to withstand that crap.
Yeah.
Tornadoes, you have no warning. Earthquakes, you have no warning. Winter is hell on earth.
Listen, I like winter. I hate snow.
Right. Well, sadly, they go hand in hand in a lot of places.
Maybe sometimes.
Yeah, but where I live, there's none of that.
Okay.
Where do you? Oh,
Yeah.
I live in New Mexico. We don't have any.
Oh no, there's heat in New Mexico.
yeah. I mean, there's nothing but heat, and it's just dry.
Oh, yeah, which is much better than that humid heat you guys get.
No, I get like half of my water intake per day by breathing through the air. It's amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Osmosis. We've learned to adjust. But yeah, you can. There will be no stream on this channel on Friday as our Star Wars game has come to an end. But you can catch me at McStabber Studios. I will be playing a game of Nighthawks, which is the M-less game of people stuck in a diner, which should be incredibly interesting. And if not, you can catch us next Monday with our Anarch chapter as we see what the Anarchs are up to in Portland, having a grand old time being not in a city with a scumbag Ventrue running it. But as always, thank you guys for joining me, for joining us. I hope you're having a good time because I am so much more interested in what happens here than in Portland. So Portland, I'm just like,
Woo!
here's more shit. Just when are you coming back? So I know that Teddy is not left alone, because Teddy is the equivalent of Kathy and Carl. Just trouble seems to find him.
I would like to point out that, we didn't book it to Portland.
No,
We're here. Causing mischief and mayhem.
I appreciate it because I don't want to order a whole new set of art for Portland by night. So, so as always, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you when we see you. Please have a good night.